Has the sky officially dropped on the DCEU? I don't know. We'll find out. Hey guys, James Razile here. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you like all things movie related, movie news, and all of that fun stuff. We'll also be talking about podcasts down the road. The channel is a little slow right now, but we're going to be ramping it up in March. That's when our kickoff officially begins. These are just some things to tide you guys all over while we kick off digital charcuterie right here on YouTube. All right, guys. So earlier today, Mashable was talking about the future of Zack Snyder and the DCEU, and apparently a year ago, just over a year ago, he found himself fired from DC, from Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers decided to part ways with Zack Snyder. Now, this was not reported because apparently he was dealing with the family issues and whatnot, and they didn't want to obviously kick someone while they were down. So out of respect, that kind of came out, and they kind of let it all sweep it under the rug, if you will. So going forward now, it looks like Zack Snyder will not be involved in the DCEU, along with his wife, who have been producers on all of the films thus far, like them or not. The key ingredient to me here is Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman is definitely the most successful of the DCEU films. It was obviously the most positively received movie of the DCEU. So now you're looking at the co-writer. He wrote the story for Wonder Woman. And what really gets me here is, what are they losing sight of? Have they fired him because, Man of Steel was what it was? Batman v Superman, whether you like it or not, absolutely underperformed in every way, shape, or form. It really cast a dark shadow over the DCEU. Definitely something that was really hard to bounce back from was what happened with Batman v Superman, because there's a tone. And and that's the tone that was in Man of Steel. So you can't shift all the blame on Zack Snyder. He made the movie he was hired to make. He pitched, obviously he had a pitch meeting, and he said, this is what I want to do. And somebody at Warner Brothers said, there you go, do it. And then they decided that they would copy Marvel. And in doing so, they were handcuffed to this film style of Zack Snyder's, without the Kevin Feige of the Marvel universe, who can oversee everything and set certain tones. They were trapped now. Like the original Iron Man movie sets a wonderful tone, because yes, it's grounded in reality, but it still has the fantastical elements surrounding it. It's a man in an iron suit, for crying out loud. You can go in different ways. And they did their Captain Americas and their Thors, where they really, really, really pushed the boundaries and saw what people were on board with. And it turned out people were on board with a lot more than they were previously, when Batman Begins kind of said every superhero movie should be grounded in reality. So then all of a sudden things started to progress. But then Batman v Superman, people hated this film, did not make it. Should have been $1 billion movie. Plain and simple. Batman v Superman, no questions about it, should have been $1 billion movie. You put the two most iconic superheroes on the face of the planet for decades in a movie together for the very first time. The buzz surrounding that should have been astronomical. The movie should have been huge. Everyone should have loved it. And instead, I don't even think it was split. I think the majority of people did not like it. It's not fun. I personally do enjoy the movie, but it is not fun. It is something that you just sit there and you wallow through and you get to the end of it. But going back to Wonder Woman, he did co-write the story to Wonder Woman, and you have to think about what that meant for Wonder Woman, what he brought to the table. And I'll compare this to Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy 1 is a tremendous film, universally loved. I'm looking at the Metascore right now on IMDb. It's 76 from Metascore. Right on that. Who does not love Guardians of the Galaxy? Perfect? No, but it is great. And that was written by Nicole Perlman, and then James Gunn got hired on, and he kind of cleaned it up and put his touches on it, but he already had an established script. Then you have Guardians of the Galaxy 2, and James Gunn's kind of like, well, this is my thing. I know what to do. I made a perfect movie. And it's almost too much James Gunn in a lot of ways. I like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, but I don't think, like, if it's one or the other one, the original one is much, much better. 2 is fine. It's fun, but it was missing an element. I think the soundtrack is a lot to do with that, which I actually think is probably what James Gunn brought to the first one anyway. But look, sometimes it takes an extra set of eyes an extra imagination to bring something. And maybe Zack Snyder, maybe that's Zack Snyder's strong suit. You know, he is fantastic at adapting comic books for the big screen. When you look at Watchmen and even Batman v Superman, you look at the visuals are stunning. Story is definitely somewhere where he stumbles a little bit, though I do think the ending of Watchmen is superior to the comic ending. But that's something that he stumbles with. But if you teamed him up like they did with Wonder Woman, you can create a visually stunning film when you hire a director like Patty Jenkins who can do something visually stunning, and Wonder Woman is in line with the Man of Steel, Batman v Superman visual style. So Suicide Squad is a complete departure from that, but Wonder Woman feels like it fits into the cinematic universe, whereas Suicide Squad, if you gave a box set with Suicide Squad in it, you can almost remove it because it feels so different from it. But that's how I feel. So if you teamed him up, you know, you maybe strip him from the directing duties, let him produce, let him develop the characters. He obviously has a real affection for these characters. Let him develop it in a way they might be able to put something together here. But it looks like Warner Brothers is cutting ties with them. You might see his name and his wife's name as executive producer, Mashable is saying, for a few more films down the road. But apparently they will be kept a fair distance from the process of it, and maybe that's what he wants at this point. You know, maybe he's like George Lucas after the prequels, and he's like I did my thing. You know, you guys reacted to it the way you reacted to it, and that's going to be it. But anyway, what do you guys think? Should Zack Snyder stay on? It looks like we're not going to get that Zack Snyder cut of the Justice League anytime soon. But what do you guys think? Should Zack Snyder stay on in any capacity, or good riddance, see you later, go direct more Owl movies? Let me know in the comments below, and please once again like and subscribe to this video. See you next time, guys.